RACK.
Let's do this. It's the Real Jonathan Smith Show on Indie Sports Ticket, 1430 AM, 93.9 HD2, and always on the free Indie Sports Ticket app.
What's going on? Welcome into the Real Jonathan Smith Show on Cinco de Mayo. And, we got a couple Cinco de Mayo themed segments today. So thank you for tuning into the show. No matter how you're tuning in, YouTube, Indie Sports Ticket. If you want to head over there, subscribe, hop in the chat to be part of the conversation. You can watch the show on X__Jonathan Smith to follow me there and watch the show there. If you're watching the stream, you're seeing me struggle to figure out how to lower it. There we go. Lower the chair a little bit. You can also watch or listen to the show on the Indie Sports Ticket app, which you can download wherever you find your apps. And, of course, 1430 a.m. as well if you're driving around the Indianapolis area. What a night last night. Chris, did you watch the games?
Yes, I did.
You did. Let's go.
I watched most of the Knicks there. Sorry, I didn't have my mic up there.
Yeah, no, you're good.
That was a pretty big blowout there.
Yeah,
for the Knicks, but I fell asleep during the Wolves game.
That's totally fair. I was fighting it.
It was a little late.
It was. I was sitting there at 9:30 and the Knicks are up big, and I'm like, you know what, NBC, I was mad that the way that you overlapped the games, but right now I don't really mind it. So, yeah, I had a blast watching the games last night. Ross over in our YouTube chat already chiming in saying, a triple-double with blocks and a loss is kind of brutal. It really is, and we're going to get to those games hopefully at some point today. But I want to start with Anthony Richardson, a little Cinco de Mayo-inspired segment here called Siesta or Fiesta, Anthony Richardson edition. So today is Cinco de Mayo, so go drink your tequila tonight, make your margaritas, maybe throw in a little bit of strawberry flavoring, something like that, right? Have your tacos, have a good time. And I was thinking about Cinco de Mayo last night, and it made me think about Anthony Richardson because I'm a weirdo, and his showing up to voluntary workouts for the Indianapolis Colts yesterday. Is this a siesta or is this a fiesta? Now, everyone knows what a fiesta is. It's a party, right? Again, Cinco de Mayo. I'm sure that there are going to be parties tonight. Chris and I are going to draft Cinco de Mayo things. Are we doing that at 1 or 2 o'clock? I think 2. Yeah, at 2 o'clock. We're playing a game for Holiday World tickets at 1 o'clock. I've got another fun little trivia that I really hope someone calls in to do. So 317-228-1430 when that time kind of rolls around. So a fiesta is a party. And then for those who don't know, a siesta is the total opposite of a fiesta. A siesta is basically an afternoon nap in Hispanic cultures. It's taken right after lunch. It's like a daily Sunday post-church lunch nap, except it happens every day. Doesn't that sound awesome? That sounds amazing. Sign me up for that, right? I mean, I think we need that in our culture. Let's just all regress back to kindergarten, where there's just a mandatory nap time every day. Just don't make your nap time between noon and 3 o'clock. You'd much rather be awake listening to me jabber on about siestas. Okay, so a siesta is basically an afternoon nap, and then a fiesta is a party. And so there's two sides of this argument. One could argue that Anthony Richardson showing up to voluntary camp is reason for a fiesta. He's showing up. Has he grown up? Has he become a professional? He's showing up. He's healthy right now. The eye, it healed after he whacked himself in the face with a band. That is still the most bizarre thing. right? And I'm sure that there is an understanding for Anthony Richardson and his camp that if Daniel Jones isn't ready by week 1, then he's going to have an opportunity to play. He's the most talented guy in that room. Let's be honest. Riley Leonard wasn't that impressive last year. He was so impressive that they called 97-year-old Phillip Rivers to come out of retirement and play a few games. All right, so Anthony Richardson by far is the most talented guy in that room. And so this, if you want to view it as a fiesta, you could view this as like we should celebrate Anthony Richardson growing up a little bit, putting his drama to the side, and showing up to camp in spite of that, in spite of winning out of Indianapolis. That is the most optimistic way to look at this. We're not the most optimistic people on this show. I would argue this is more of a siesta. I think he's quiet quitting. He's really only there to avoid fines or, to hopefully attract a potential trade suitor. Yeah, he knows the Colts have moved on to Riley Leonard and Daniel Jones. He's essentially a ghost in a helmet until a trade partner emerges. And we thought that there might be one on draft day. The Rams were kicked around, the Vikings, the Packers, the Cardinals, and then they all just drafted quarterbacks instead of giving up a 6th-round pick for Anthony Richardson. Okay, I think this is how most people should react. Those rookie contracts are nice, but they're not quite nice enough to hold up against all those fines that would be coming Anthony Richardson's way if he consistently missed practices and training camp and OTAs and all of those things. With that being said, the Colts should be very excited that Anthony Richardson is showing up, right? They're not going to waive Anthony Richardson. It's the ultimate admission that they missed on the pick. And every general manager, this is not just a Chris Ballard thing, every general manager, every front office is incredibly hard-headed and prideful. And having to waive your former number 4 overall pick is the ultimate admission that you were wrong. There's also no gain by letting him walk and go wherever he wants. A quarterback out there is going to get hurt. It's going to happen. Happens every year. Maybe it'll be Daniel Jones. We'll see. But someone at some point during the season is going to need a quarterback. Now, a lot of these teams have serviceable backups. If Brock Purdy gets hurt again, they'll just play Mac Jones. They're not going to call the Colts requesting the services of Anthony Richardson. But there are other teams out there that don't have serviceable backups. Why not trade a 7th-round pick for Anthony Richardson? You're going to lose those games anyway. If the Bengals, if Joe Burrow gets hurt again, very possible, then, you're going to pass it off to Jake Browning again? We saw how horrible that went last year. Call the Colts, throw him a 7th-round pick. Anthony Richardson is entertaining and intriguing enough that he can still sell some tickets there for like 2 or 3 weeks. And maybe if he figures it out, maybe if he's learned how to, hit that 4-yard slant route and that 6-yard out route, then maybe you have something special. Then you can flip him for something even more valuable. That is why the Colts are holding on to him. And since he's showing up, you don't have to worry about the sideshow. You don't have to worry about reporters asking about where is Anthony Richardson. You can do that thing where you leak stories to reporters hinting at the idea that he's grown up and he's matured and he's improved. Maybe that drums up some interest. So while I personally don't care at all that he showed up, it's what he should have done. Because, again, that rookie contract, not quite rich enough to pay all those fines if you're missing practices and things. The Colts should be glad he's decided to show up because it will hopefully help them, rehabilitate his reputation a little bit. And maybe some other teams will become interested and, give up a 6th or 7th round pick for Anthony Richardson. Now, he is not the only guy who the Colts are waiting to trade. Kenny Moore is still a Colt. Kenny Moore is still yet to be traded. And the Colts should hold on to him for as long as they can. I read an article the other day from, Sports Illustrated. Some Cowboys writer was like, the Cowboys should trade for an experienced nickel like Kenny Moore. I'm telling you, there is going to be a market for him at some point. And because of that, same thing here, they should hold on to him for as long as they can. Don't waive him. Don't just let him walk. Make him play a few games as a Colt if you need to. Don't just release him. Okay, hold on to him until a cornerback on another team gets hurt and they need a replacement. I don't really care if Kenny Moore is unhappy. He can be unhappy while the Colts pay him $10 million this year. You go be unhappy with your $10 million, man. We're giving you enough money that I don't really care. Okay, you do not cut him until you absolutely have to. Wait as long as you can until you can get something for him in return. I am not a fan of letting good football players that can help you walk for nothing. That's just bad business. Therefore, it's Ballard's kind of business. Okay? Don't let any of these guys who want out, you don't just let them walk for nothing. Get something in return. Okay? That is, I think, a baseline for doing just about any sort of business in the NFL. You don't allow good players to walk out of your building without getting something in return, even if they want to leave. Kenny Moore doesn't really seem like the type. Maybe this changes. Kenny Moore doesn't really seem like the type to cause problems because he's not getting what he wants. He's not going to go throw a temper tantrum. He's not going to pull a Tyreek Hill or, a pre-grown up Stephon Diggs or a Brandon Ayuk where he disappears for the whole season and the only videos you see are of him posting videos on Instagram of him driving 150 miles an hour down I-69. It's not the kind of guy that Kenny Moore is. He's too mature, too much of a professional to do that. So if you walk up to Kenny Moore or you call his agent or do, whatever you need to do to get in contact with him, and you say, hey, Kenny, we understand that you don't want to be here anymore. That's fine. The issue is right now, can't find a place for you. So play like 4 games for us. Someone else out there will get hurt, and then we'll trade you. And who knows? Maybe you'll like playing on this defense again this year or whatever it is. Kenny Moore seems reasonable enough to understand why that would be in his best interest, right? Also, if he waits 4 weeks, we'll have a much better idea a month into the season of who's actually good and who isn't this NFL year. So, Colts, hold on for as long as you can. Don't trade Anthony Richardson. Don't trade Kenny Moore. Don't do anything like that. Just hold on. There's no hurry. Good things come to those who wait. Sometimes. I don't think that's always true. But in this case, I do think that that's true. So don't move Anthony Richardson. Don't move Kenny Moore. Wait until those injuries kind of start to pile up on other rosters, and then you'll have an opportunity to at least get something back for the guy that you drafted number 4 overall. You'll at least be able to get something back for Kenny Moore, which is ultimately what you need, right? I think Chris Ballard should just call Kevin Pritchard. Kevin Pritchard has built an excellent basketball team, really out of making great trades. Call him. Ask him for some advice on how he makes his trades to make his teams better. So wait as long as you can, and then decide to make the trade. We got a really nice show lined up for you today as we continue to count down towards the NBA Draft Lottery on Sunday. We are 5 days away from seeing, hopefully, the tweets that say The Indiana Pacers are going to be a problem next year. Tyrese Halliburton coming back and the number 1 overall pick, or something like that. All right, we're 5 days away from that, so we're going to continue running off all of these lottery takes. We've got Top 10 Tuesday, a little twist on it. NIL is now allowed for high school athletes in Indiana. And on top of that, we had some great NBA playoff games last night. At 1 o'clock, we are playing a game for tickets to Holiday World. 2 o'clock, Chris and I are doing a Cinco de Mayo draft. Things that you would want at a Cinco de Mayo party. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a blast. And we will talk. We will spin the wheel. We will spin our lottery wheel for today's lottery take in 3 minutes.
It may, one day, be a must-listen for sports enthusiasts.
Yeah, and monkeys might fly out of my butt.
Uh-oh. The Real Jonathan Smith Show on Indy Sports Ticket 1430 AM, 93.9 HD2, and always on the free Indy Sports Ticket app.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Real Jonathan Smith Show here on Indy Sports Ticket. Thanks for tuning in, no matter how you're tuning in. YouTube, X, the Indy Sports Ticket app. 14:30 a.m. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Here in about 40 minutes, we are playing a game for Holiday World tickets. So get your phone ready to call 317-228-1430. Again, that game coming up here in about 40 minutes. The lottery, we are 5 days away. I got to set up my random number generator before I forget. And I spin the wheel. So basically, every day leading up to the NBA draft lottery, we have a lottery of our own. Depending on the number that is drawn, I give you a certain take that I have. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 left, 4 more shows, including today before the lottery. So, Chris, if you would like to play the sounder. So groovy. Every time we do this, Chris and I just start like nodding our heads. It's great. It's great. So today we rolled the number 6. So basically the way that this works, the Indiana Pacers, their lottery ball is going to land anywhere between the 1st overall pick and the 7th overall pick. Obviously picks 5, 6, and 7 go to the Los Angeles Clippers. Picks 1, 2, 3, and 4 stay right here in Indianapolis, which is obviously what we want. So as we count down to the NBA draft lottery, I wrote down 7 takes, each corresponding with the number 1 through 7 on a scale of how much I like the thing. So today we rolled the number 6. So on a scale of 1 to 7, I like this a 6. This is like one of my hidden passions. This is something that I think matters, that people look at me like I'm crazy, like, Jonathan, why do you care about this so much? On a scale of 1 to 7, I like this a 6. Guards in the NBA winning Defensive Player of the Year. A center almost always wins Defensive Player of the Year. Victor Wembanyama won it this year. He was unanimous, and he should have been. He's going to win it every year for a really long time, and he should. He is the exception to this take. Guards should win it more often, though, because the best offensive players in the NBA are oftentimes guards. When you make a list of the best players in the NBA, most of them play guard, and they're not defended by centers. Like, look, the best player in the world right now is probably Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then it's Jokic, that's 1 center. Wemby, that's 2 centers. And then it's Luka, big wing. Kawhi Leonard, big wing. Anthony Edwards, guard. Giannis, big wing. Cade Cunningham, guard. Donovan Mitchell, guard. Jaylen Brown, guard. Steph Curry, guard. You can keep going through it. It's going to be a while before you get to another center. And so because of that, we are asking the best defensive guards in the NBA to defend the best players. Okay, when you talk about the best offensive players, Nikola Jokic is really the only center, him and Wemby, who are at the top of that list. Everyone else is a guard. So the best guard defenders are defending the best players in the sport night in and night out, while the majority of centers just kind of hang out around the rim. Rudy Gobert, not going to defend on the perimeter. Again, Wemby is the exception to this take. And ultimately, when it comes to this, like when Marcus Smart won it a few years ago, he was extremely deserving because he defended the best player on the floor every single night for Boston. I think Asar Thompson, this freakishly athletic defender for the Pistons, he defends the opposing team's best player in every game. And he's so freakishly athletic that he can defend the rim as well. Okay, so not so desperately, I really like it when guards win Defensive Player of the Year because they are oftentimes tasked with defending the best players on the court while centers just kind of hang out around the rim and they just kind of block shots, which is obviously a really important part of a defense. It's hard to have a good defense if you can't protect the rim. It's part of why the Denver Nuggets lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves this year. But with that being said, Defensive Player of the Year should go to more guards. Speaking of guards, NIL for high school students in Indiana has been approved. I've seen way more stuff. I'm surprised I haven't seen more on this. I've seen many more comments on the IHSAA not approving shot clocks for high school basketball, something that I think that they should do. Then again, I'm not overly as invested in this. I am not traveling around the state watching a ton of high school basketball games. Just not me. Give me, 20 years, and then maybe I'll do it then. But people are, I think, probably going to freak out about the NIL stuff for high school students because anything associated with NIL almost always leads to people freaking out, right? Just wait till we have high school students betting on their own games. See how people react then. So you might see a couple of high school kids in a car commercial or something like that. But I don't think it's going to have any major impact on the majority of these kids. I don't think high school sports in Indiana is all of a sudden going to become some sort of pay for play thing where kids are getting paid to transfer and things like that. Maybe I'm just ignorant on the subject, but I would be very surprised if there were rich high school alumnus forking out money so that their high school can be good at basketball. I don't see that happening. Where this is interesting and where I think that this really needs to be brought up is when it comes to colleges recruiting these kids. Indiana is not the first school to approve of high school NIL. California was on the front end of this, believe it or not. I know, just shocking. And what's interesting out there is because it is approved, let's say Coach Signetti wants to sign the number one high school wide receiver in the country, and he's from San Francisco. He can start paying that kid NIL right now because that kid lives in California. So I think the only way that this is really going to impact high school kids is when you have, future Division I athletes just getting their NIL money a little bit earlier while they're in high school. So, I would love it if parents called in and had takes on this because I'm sure that is an entire side of this. I know nothing about how would I feel about a college potentially handing my kid $1 million when I don't make that much money. I don't think I would like that. I think my ego would be hurt, bruised a little bit. But at the same time, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. Like, hey, kid, what are you getting me for Christmas this year? Maybe, your dad needs a new car, right? I've logged all these miles dragging you around all these AAU tournaments and driving an hour to road high school basketball games. How about you throw your dad a brand new Jeep or something? I don't know. But seriously, this is, I think, really only going to apply to the select few. So I wouldn't worry about this too much. The shot clock thing is a really interesting thing for the shot clock thing. I think is really interesting for high school basketball. So I understand the argument for both sides. I think in terms of game flow, it would be nice to have. I don't think that it's very common, at least from what I've seen. Again, if someone wants to call in 317-228-1430 and weigh in on this, I would greatly appreciate that. From what I've seen, I don't think there are many high schools around here playing stall ball where they're, taking 2 minutes to get a shot up. I don't think that that's what's happening. And so from that perspective, I don't think that you really need a shot clock. Where I think that you need one is for the end of games. Because I talked yesterday about how much I hate winning time commercials where it's week 17 and the Colts have an opportunity to march down the field, score a touchdown, and if they do that, then they're going to go to the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. There's nothing worse than that drive approaching and the network saying, "Hold up, let's take 3 minutes to show you commercials for stuff that you're not going to buy." Right? It completely kind of kills the excitement in the mood. And what you'll see in high school basketball is we're down by 1 with 90 seconds left. We're going to hold on to the basketball for all 90 of those seconds. We're going to hold for the last shot. That is where I think a shot clock would be much more beneficial of keeping the pace of play going late in games when teams are trying to hold for the final shot. Because now, 90 seconds to go, you're down by 1. You mean I'm just going to sit in my seat for the next 80 seconds watching your 5'7" point guard dribble the ball in an incredibly defensive stance? Don't really want to watch that. I would like to see the game continue to flow. So that would be my one critique on the idea of not having a shot clock. Again, I would like for there to be one, but at the same time, like, it's high school basketball. It's not exactly dying for one. Last weird thing here. Fox Sports, this is so fascinating to me, and I would take this job in a millisecond. Fox Sports is hiring a chief World Cup watcher to watch all 104 matches from a custom-built personal office in Times Square for $50,000. That is a little under $1,300 a day. That's $480 a game. Sign me up for that. Chris, I know that you're not like a soccer guy.
That's a no-brainer, though. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Seriously?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a lot of soccer, though.
It is.
There's a lot of games.
I never want to watch soccer again after that.
Well, maybe you would only want to watch soccer after that. Like, you would learn so much. I mean, my thing is, certainly they're going to make you do more than just watch the sport. Certainly they're going to, like, video you watching the sport. There will be like a 24/7 Twitch stream of you watching soccer. There will be, they'll probably have you like pop on different shows. Certainly it's not just like, we'll pay you $50,000 to sit in the dark and not help us at all.
Could be some sort of brainwashing, you think?
Yeah, let's see how crazy this guy goes after having to watch, I don't know.
Be worth it, though. I would do it.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. I call Mike immediately. Hey, Mike, I'm going to be gone for the next couple of months. Jonathan, you just got here. What are you doing? Well, the reason is I'm going to go watch soccer professionally. I'm going to move to New York for a couple of months.
What are the qualifications on that? Like, do you have to have a history of watching soccer to be qualified? Like, is that on your resume?
Here, it's the job posting is apparently listed on Indeed. Let me see where'd my notes go? There they are. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'd love to read the description for this.
Sure. I mean, I'm pretty good at watching TV. I think I'm probably qualified.
I mean, I agree with you. I think that I could do this as well. Does it come with any sort of like benefits or anything like that? Oh, it's not popping up here. What is going on? Let me try like this. Last chance here. Come on. Nope. Not popping up. That's a bummer. Because seriously, like it's a great question. What are the qualifications to be a professional World Cup watcher? I mean, I mean, I'm sure that you like. I would want to send out like a test of how much do you know about soccer, how much soccer do you watch, Who's your favorite team? All of those kinds of things. $50,000 to watch soccer. Sign me up.
Surely there's somebody in the organization that is qualified for this, and I could just be like, "Hey, your team's season is done or whatever. Why don't you come over to New York and watch these games for us?"
Yeah, seriously. I would also like my other question is like, there's not someone at Fox already who can do this for you. You don't like. Don't they employ Landon Donovan? I mean, come on now. I think this is a pretty simple thing here. But yeah, World Cup watcher. Sign me up. 50 grand to sit on my butt, eat Doritos, and watch soccer?
Dude, I've done more for less. You know what I mean?
Like what?
A lot. Like I
If,
don't know.
if there's a lot that okay. Let me talk to Ross. Think about what you've done a lot more for less. And let us know after Ross. Ross, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, imagine if you were the person that got hired, if they even followed through with it, when they're like a Wendy's hiring a taste tester for $100,000
That'd be
or
awesome.
something like that. And like you put in your notice with Wendy's and now I got a similar offer or something like that, but it's a pay cut. But yeah, I'd want to know a lot of the details. Like, is your room and board covered, or because $50,000 in New York wouldn't
Yeah.
be like working at Chick-fil-A here or something if you had to pay to park and live and eat, and then taxes. You wouldn't really come out with a lot of that. And then to have to watch that much soccer, it's okay, but I wouldn't want to watch it like all day, every day for that long. I don't know.
I mean,
But yeah.
They say that they're going to put you in like a custom built office. So I would assume that there's something like, I'm assuming that by that they mean like a place for you to stay where they supply you a TV and all those kinds of things. I would do it. It's a 39 day tournament. You're making like $1,300 a day to sit on your butt and watch soccer.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Oh yeah. I'm with Chris too. And I've had times in my life where I would have easily I would have driven to New York to do that. So, yeah, you could think of a lot worse to spend your time. So as far as the, I'll have a daughter starting high school next year, or I guess this fall. So she's not really, I've tried to convince her, she's pretty tall for her age and all that, but I've tried to get her in tennis, basketball, something, but it's, I don't really have a big opinion. I think like Buzzard or somebody that's had a son just finish up football for 4 years would be a good opinion on that. But, hopefully it kind of stays contained in a way that college hasn't,
Yeah.
because it's just snowballed out of control and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you might have kids just cutting class all the time, cutting class, not going, I don't need it, I got the money now. And then when do we start recruiting junior high kids, with NIL and all that? And then they have a point of, come to high school games, it's only $5 or 10, whatever it is.
Yeah.
To go to a game, that's inevitably going to go way up if they're starting to pay kids and all that. So
I don't
knows?
think I don't think it'll be pay for play like it is in college. I think it'll look much more like how colleges thought this was going to look whenever they implemented the rule, where kids aren't making money from the school, they're making money from endorsement deals outside of the school, which I just don't know how many businesses are calling up high school kids to get them to endorse their business. So it's an interesting thing. We'll see kind of how it goes. I'm with you though. I'd love to hear from Buzzard or someone who has a kid who's played high school sports here recently. Thanks for the call, Ross.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Love Ross. Always love it whenever he calls in. So he was talking about high schools recruiting junior high players. I have a story about that. I'll tell it in 3 minutes. If you want to look and feel your best this summer, Indiana Medical Center is your solution. They're a leading medical spa offering transformative non-surgical treatments. This Friday at 9 a.m., go to indiesportsticket.com and click on the Sweet Deals tab to get any body sculpting, skin tightening, or facial rejuvenation a $399 treatment for only $149.
The best takes. Maybe. The Real Jonathan Smith Show on Indy Sports Ticket 1430 AM, 93.9 HD2, and always on the free Indy Sports Ticket app.
Welcome back to the Real Jonathan Smith Show here on Indy Sports Ticket. Thanks for tuning in, no matter how you are tuning in. NIL for high school students in Indiana has been approved. Ross was talking about high schools recruiting junior high players. So where I grew up at in Arkansas, there was I know it's famous in the South. I don't know if its fame got all the way up here. It's called Pulaski Academy. It's a high school in the Little Rock area. Guys like Hunter Henry, went to school there. They're very famous for never punting on fourth down. They always go for it. They always onside kicking football, all those things. And they recruited everybody that they could for every single sport. It was so annoying, but there was nothing like beating them. Whenever you'd beat them, you just have this little grin like, yeah, you people didn't want to recruit us, but you should have. So, yeah, that whole school, there's you can find documentaries on Pulaski Academy. It's kind of insane, always insane. Anyway, so it is Tuesday, which means you know that we got to do top 10 Tuesday. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Top 10 Tuesday!
So nice. Love it. All right, so top 10 Tuesday. Today's a little bit different. It's a list of 10 players, but in honor of today being Cinco de Mayo, we're doing playoff players as taco ingredients. So I've got 10 guys listed. We will see how this goes. All right. So at number 10, let's start with the king. Let's start with LeBron James, the tortilla. Right? He has held the Lakers together in the absence of Luka and Austin Reeves. They basically beat the Rockets without those two guys. I know Austin Reeves came back for games 5 and 6, but the series was already over before then. They went up 3-0 without those guys. I know Kevin Durant didn't play in that series, but I don't really care about that. LeBron James is 41 years old. He's timeless like the tortilla. That thing's not going anywhere anytime soon. And he did everything for the Lakers. And he is the reason why they won that series. He is the tortilla that holds the Lakers together. Without him, it is just a mess of toppings. That's all that it is.
Dude, just for the record, your analogies are the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I work really hard on them, so I'm glad. I'm glad that you like them. So just a mess of toppings without LeBron. With that being said, sometimes the tortilla falls apart. Probably going to happen tonight when they start their series against the Thunder. Number 9 on the list, Jalen Brunson is the steak or the carne asada, the meat of the postseason. He is tough, he's reliable, and he carries the heaviest load. No bell there. Okay. Heaviest load. If he's not rolling for the Knicks, thank you. If he's not rolling for the Knicks, then their offense becomes a collection of accessories. That's nothing but like too much sour cream, lettuce, and cheese without anything that makes them an asset. Because let's be honest, when you eat a taco, you're not eating it for the sour cream, the lettuce, and the cheese. You're eating it for whatever the meat is, whether it's steak, chicken, whatever. So without him, everything else is just kind of there. He is the substance that makes the Knicks a threat, and he was awesome last night for New York. Number 8, Anthony Edwards. He is the chorizo. Anthony Edwards is pure spice and high energy. He's oily, incredibly slippery in the way that he's able to get to the rim. He's bold, and he leaves a lasting impression, both in your mouth and on the toilet, because you know Spurs fans hate him after last night. He is the most aggressive flavor in the Western Conference right now. He is wildly entertaining, and I just hope that he can stay healthy for the Timberwolves in their series against San Antonio. They flat out beat San Antonio last night, and Anthony Edwards couldn't even start. He wasn't healthy enough to start. He came in off the bench, only played like 20 minutes. The chorizo was definitely present in that game last night. Anthony Edwards right there is the chorizo. Next, we've got Victor Wembanyama. He is the shell. He is a hard shell taco. He's 7'4", and the structural integrity of a hard shell taco is incredibly important. I've eaten a lot of hard shell tacos, like you bite into them and they just fall apart. Like historical NBA players over 7 feet tall. If the shell is weak, the whole taco falls apart. And Wembanyama is the guy that holds everything together for the Spurs on both ends of the floor. And he's the reason why they could win the NBA Finals. And they need his structural integrity to hold over the course of the playoffs and really going forward if they want to be a dynasty, which they are more than capable of becoming. You know, not every time, this doesn't happen to me very often, but if you're ever holding like a hard shell taco and you drop it on the floor, you're just immediately like, gosh, dang it, this thing's going to shatter. And then, you know, amazingly, sometimes you pick it up and for some reason it has not shattered. That's how I feel whenever Victor Wembanyama falls to the floor. Just like, is this guy going to get up? And somehow the slender man finds a way to stand up and remain intact. Next on the list, number 6, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He is the cilantro. Polarizing. Half of the fans out there think he's a fresh savior of the number 1 seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. The other half find him to be overrated and think that he tastes like soap. You either love him or you don't. If you love him, you admire his mid-range game. If you hate him, you complain about the whistle he gets. Weirdly, both sides are correct in this analogy. Number 5, Tyrese Maxey is the onions. Small, sharp, and if you live in Boston, he made you cry a couple nights ago. Okay, he is the bite that catches the defense off guard. He is the fastest player in the NBA, and his speed and three-point shooting have the ability to add a ton of flavor to this 76ers offense like an onion does. He just has to get easier shots. He had a brutal night last night. Number 4, his running mate, Joel Embiid. He's the guacamole. He's the extra ingredient, both premium and high quality, but also fragile and expensive. Sometimes he's perfectly ripe. And when he's perfectly ripe, the Philadelphia 76ers are good enough to beat anybody. But other times, he's a bit bruised. And when he's bruised, he makes a $10 taco taste like you picked it up off the street. It's not very good. He wasn't very, very good last night. The 76ers need him to remain healthy to have a chance in that series against New York. Number 3, we've got Donovan Mitchell. He's the sour cream of a taco. He's supposed to be the closer that kind of smooths everything out. I don't know if you've ever made a taco and put too much sour cream on it. It's disgusting. You need the proper amount of sour cream, and too much Donovan Mitchell, it can lead to things getting a little messy and lacking balance for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think this is part of why he's never made it to the conference finals. He's an awesome postseason player, but again, too much sour cream is not a good thing. You need a bit of Darius Garland or a dashing of James Harden to advance past the second round. Speaking of James Harden, he's next on our list here. He's the radish, a traditional garnishment that's mostly there for show at this point. He adds a little bit of crunch, but he's definitely not the main course anymore. He's at the point in his career where he needs to be the second option, especially in the playoffs. He's capable of making you ooh and ah from time to time, but if he's your main ingredient, you're not going to win a playoff game. Could you imagine biting into a taco where the main ingredient is a freaking radish? Like, what is this vegan bull crap? Get this away from me. I don't want that. Last guy on my list here, Cade Cunningham. He's the salsa verde. Smooth, cool, and tangy. Doesn't need to be loud to be effective. He's the sneaky heat that finishes you off before you even realize it. He's the best player in the playoffs that no one pays attention to. He's one of the 10 best basketball players in the world. He does everything for the Pistons. Look, a good salsa verde can elevate a very average taco. And that is what Cade Cunningham does for the Detroit Pistons. Without him, they are an average, hard-playing 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. But he elevates them to a point where they can have the best record in the East. And he makes everything look incredibly easy, despite having to carry such a large load. That is your Top 10 Tuesday. 10 NBA playoff players as different ingredients in a taco. That was fun. That was
awesome, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Ross chiming in. If you want bad analogies from noon to 3, go to the other station. Thank you, Ross. Thank you.
I'm a big fan of analogies, and you knocked it out of the park, dude. That was awesome.
Good
job.
I appreciate it. I like the music in the background. I like that as well. IU fan asking, did Jaden Ivey get signed by anyone? Jaden Ivey, he has been signed. He was signed by the Holy Spirit.
Best team you can be on.
That's right. That's exactly right. Now, I'll be honest. The last video I saw of Jaden Ivey, he was street preaching. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say an NBA team probably isn't going to sign him as long as he's doing that, which is a sad thing because he was, once upon a time, a really, really good player. Pull out your phone, 317-228-1430. We are playing trivia for your chance to win 2 tickets to Holiday World. It is inspired, the trivia is, by Cinco de Mayo. I came up with it. I went down a rabbit hole last night, learned a lot about Cinco de Mayo.
You went further than a taco salad NBA.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Good.
You're going to hear some of these. And Chris is like, guys, please call in. Because if you don't call in, then I'm going to have to play the game.
I can only imagine what trivia you have today.
I'm so excited for it. 317-228-1430. That is the number for your chance to win tickets to Holiday World. We will play the game when we come back in 4 minutes.
do this. It's the Real Jonathan Smith Show on Indy Sports Ticket, 1430 AM, 93.9 HD2, and always on the free Indy Sports Ticket app.
There you go. Nice. Hour number 2 of the Real Jonathan Smith Show on a beautiful Cinco de Mayo Tuesday. It's getting underway. Thank you for tuning into the show, no matter how you're tuning in YouTube, Indy Sports Ticket. Just want to head over there and subscribe. You can watch the show on X, _ Jonathan Smith. Follow me there. You can listen to the show via the Indy Sports Ticket app, which you can download wherever you find your apps. And, of course, you can also listen on 1430 AM. So many ways to listen. There's really no excuse not to. And if you're listening right now, pull out your phone, 317-228-1430. That is the phone number. If you would like an opportunity to win a couple of tickets to Holiday World, you know you want to go to Holiday World. Take your wife, leave your kids at home, take your bro, leave the wife at home. I don't know. Just don't take your mistress, because there's way too many people there for that. You're bound to run into somebody that you know, and then you're just causing problems for yourself. 317-228-1430. We're going to give you the tickets. We're just going to see how much you know about Cinco de Mayo first. IU fan, if you want the Holiday World tickets, then call in. Let's go. It's not hard.
I'm curious to see what kind of trivia this is, because knowing you, it's probably going to be like in Game 5 on Cinco de Mayo.
No, it's that would actually be really
What
funny.
coach had tacos after the game?
This is like real Cinco de Mayo trivia. So like the first round, it's 3 questions on like actual history versus like the myths of Cinco de Mayo. And then there's like some cultural deep dives. I've got three questions on that. And then I've got like a super quick lightning round as well. And then I've got one more that if someone gets, I'll be incredibly impressed, to say the least.
Makes sense. So, in other words, I'm going to miss everyone if I have to do this.
To be fair, I wouldn't have gotten any of them right either. I mean, so 317-228-1430. If you would like your chance to win a couple of tickets to Holiday World, take your kids, take yourself and your wife, go by yourself twice. I don't know, whatever you want to do. 317-228-1430. Come on. IU fan in our YouTube chat says he wants the tickets, but he clearly doesn't want them, because if he wanted them, then he would just call in.
He didn't come here to work. He just wants them
Seriously
given to him.
It bothers me that we just gave them out yesterday. You know, Matt, right? That was who called in.
Yep.
Like, Matt, thank you for listening, but have fun for like 10 minutes on the air. You know, it's important stuff. All right.
You tell him, Jonathan.
All right, 317-228-1430. We'll give it a couple more minutes here, and then from there we will, we'll have Chris do his best, I guess, and we'll see what happens from there. 317-228-1430. That is the phone number. I am so excited for what college basketball is going to look like next year, just with the transfer portal stuff. It looks like Louisville is shaping up to be a really, really good basketball team. It looks like Kentucky's going to absolutely stink, which makes me even happier. Indiana is hopefully going to be relevant again. Purdue brought everybody back, so they're going to be good again. It'll be interesting watching them post Braden Smith era. I am just intrigued to see who is the team that everyone gets really excited for that falls flat on their face and actually isn't very good. It seems like every year of this transfer portal era in college sports, whether it's college basketball, college football, or whatever it is, we got a caller, hallelujah. College football, college basketball, whatever it is, there's always one team that falls a little short in terms of the expectations that people have for them. Like last year, college football, it was Clemson. Everyone was pumped for Clemson, and just to kind of see how they go about doing it. So, all right, we got Ross's dad on the line. calling in.
Hello.
What's
Yeah.
up, Brian?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah.
It's going well. So Ross told you to call in.
Yeah.
So here's how this works. We are going to give you the tickets to Holiday World, but before we
Okay.
do that, we always do like a little bit of trivia. We're just big believers on the show of not just like giving out handouts. We want people to at least try to earn it. So we've
Gotta
got
earn it. Yeah. Yeah.
we've got some Cinco de Mayo trivia questions for you. I'll be
Okay.
honest, they're not easy. Like if you get one right, that's gonna be great. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
All right, Brian. Here's the first one.
All right.
So many people mistakenly believe that Cinco de Mayo is Mexican Independence Day. On what
Right.
day is Mexican Independence Day actually celebrated?
No clue, but May the 7th. I don't know.
That's not a bad guess. It's September 16th. Again, these are hard,
September.
so
Okay.
don't even worry about it. Next.
Should remember that. That's Ross's mother's birthday. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Should have said that.
That's,
Okay.
there you go. All right. Next question for you. So the holiday Cinco de Mayo commemorates the Mexican Army's victory over which European power at the Battle of Puebla in 1862?
I'm trying to think. England. I don't know. Yeah.
France.
France.
Which
yeah,
is-
I got it. Picked
yeah.
the wrong one. Okay.
There you
Wrong
go.
one. Okay.
All right. Couple more for you. All right. So at the Battle of Puebla, the Mexican army was heavily outnumbered. What was the ratio of French soldiers to Mexican soldiers in the battle?
How much more you mean?
Yes.
Oh, probably 25%.
2-1. So
Okay.
close
50%.
enough. Two
Okay.
more for you here. All right, Brian?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
All right. So while Cinco de Mayo is a massive holiday in the United States, it's
Mhm.
primarily celebrated in only one specific Mexican state. I just said it.
Puebla.
There you go. There's one.
I've
Give
been
him a
there.
bell.
So, yeah.
There's one. There we go. We'll end on a win. That's good.
Awesome.
We can call it there. That's great.
Okay.
Brian, if you'll just hold on to the line for us, we'll have Chris grab your information so that we can get those tickets over to you, okay?
All right. Awesome. Thanks, brother.
You got it, Brian. Have a good one.
Take it easy. Okay.
You too. All right. Big shout out to Brian for calling in, being a good sport. Those are hard. I didn't know any of them before I was looking all of these up. So, yeah. So shout out to Brian for calling in and being a good sport and doing that. So I told you, IU fan, you should have called in. All right. Let's keep it moving here. Again, Cinco de Mayo. So we had some NBA playoff games last night. What a freaking blast. So the Knicks, they look like the best team in the Eastern Conference right now. I mean, they just absolutely dog walked the Philadelphia 76ers last night. Wasn't close. 76ers looked overwhelmed and outmatched in that game. This is the fourth straight game where the Knicks have absolutely dominated whoever they've played. Okay, in the final three games of their series against the Hawks, they won by 16 and then 29, and then they won game 6 by 51. And then last night, they beat the 76ers by 39. I mean, they are absolutely rolling right now on both ends of the floor. They are defending at a high level, and they're shooting at a high level. They did an excellent job of making life hard on Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. They combined to shoot 6 of 20 from the field. Okay, if they're both going to struggle, then every game is going to look like that in this series. Karl Anthony Towns has been nothing short of superb in the playoffs. He logged a couple of triple doubles in the first round, and he continued his excellent play last night. I was impressed by how well he defended Joel Embiid. And this is such an important part of the playoff story for the Knicks. Such an important thing. We saw this happen, in fact, with the Indiana Pacers last year. The biggest jump from the year that the Pacers got swept by the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals and last year was the fact that Tyrese Halliburton found a way to be more impactful on defense. And I think we're seeing something similar with Karl Anthony Towns so far in these playoffs. He has been much better defensively, and the Knicks desperately needed him to improve on the defensive end because it's tough to win games when Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson are both zeros for the New York Knicks. And then on offense, I mean, they were just absolutely rolling. Jalen Brunson scored 35 points in 31 minutes. Just didn't really seem to miss. Karl Anthony Towns was efficient. OG Anunoby's been on a tear in these playoffs. He had 18 points on 7 of 8 shooting. I mean, the Knicks are just operating at an entirely different level than everybody else in the Eastern Conference right now. With that being said, it's a long series. This is where coaching really kind of comes into effect and why having a guy like Nick Nurse is a real advantage, right? He outcoached Joe Mazzulla in that first round series. He actually made some tweaks to their game plan. He smartly decided not to start a lineup in Game 7 that had played 0 minutes together all year like Joe Mazzulla decided to do for some reason. I think Nick Nurse is a better coach than Mike Brown, and I'm intrigued to see how Coach Nurse adjusts going into Game 2. So, Chris, I didn't read all of my Cinco de Mayo questions.
So you want to burn them off on me?
You don't have to answer
happening
them.
right now.
You don't have to answer them.
No, it's cool.
But I just like, there's moments where it's like I did all this work. I'd like to read the rest of it.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe somebody in the YouTube chat will beat me to the answer.
Maybe.
Let's try.
I don't think anyone is going to get this right. But here we go.
Okay.
Who was the Texas-born Mexican general who led the troops to victory at Puebla?
I don't know.
General Ignacio Zaragoza.
Definitely would not have gotten that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either.
I don't know if the YouTube chat would have got that either.
All right. I don't even this next question. I can't pronounce some of the words in here, but that's okay. In the traditional Bail folklorico often performed today, what is the name of the iconic, colorful, wide-skirted dress worn by women?
Oh, I can picture it, but I couldn't tell you the name of it.
I can see it too. It's apologies if I'm mispronouncing these. The answer is China Poblana. I think. All right. Last group of questions right here. Is Cinco de Mayo a federal holiday in Mexico? If you're listening to the questions earlier, then you should be able to figure this out.
I'm going to say no.
It is not. Really only celebrated in one Mexican state. In what U.S. city is the largest Cinco de Mayo festival held?
Is it Puebla? Like you said?
In the United States.
Oh, in the United States.
Yeah. Think big city where a lot of Hispanic people would live.
San Antonio.
Good guess, but no.
All right.
Los Angeles.
Oh, all right.
And then two more here.
Okay.
What fruit, yes, fruit, sees its highest sales of the year on this day?
Lime.
Nope.
What?
Avocado.
Get out of here.
I know.
Okay.
Last one here.
Too. All right.
Good luck. This one's brutal. Who was the emperor of Mexico during the French intervention?
No clue, man.
Maximilian the First.
All right.
There you go. All right.
Very good.
Oh, my gosh. Incredible stuff.
Yeah,
We're learning a lot.
I'm glad that you didn't go with the Game 5 idea that I said earlier. Like, because that would have been really...
I don't know. I think Brian would have had a much better chance to answer those.
Possibly.
I appreciate him being such a good sport because there's some people who would have been like, "You just give me my tickets, man." All right. Again, shout out to Brian. We are giving away more Holiday World tickets tomorrow. I promise tomorrow we will not be doing Cinco de Mayo themed trivia.
It's going to be a best effort Wednesday. So what are you coming up with that?
Over the hump day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do Do we do like hump related trivia?
Careful.
The most. Can we get who are the 10 most famous humps in the history of sports?
Oh, man.
Number 1, Diana Rossini. All right, coming up at 2:00, we will continue the Cinco de Mayo theme. Chris and I will do a Cinco de Mayo draft, things that you would basically want at a Cinco de Mayo party. But I'm going to continue talking NBA playoffs. The Timberwolves go into San Antonio, steal game 1. That happened last night. My thoughts on that game in 4 minutes.
If it's in today's sports world, it's here. The real Jonathan Smith Show on Indy Sports Ticket 1430 AM, 93.9 HD2, and always on the free Indy Sports Ticket app.
Welcome back to the Real Jonathan Smith Show here on this Sports Ticket. Thanks for tuning in, no matter how you're tuning in. YouTube, X, the Indy Sports Ticket app, 1430 a.m. However you're listening, it is greatly, greatly appreciated. The NBA playoffs are in full swing. We are past the first round. The second round drama began last night. Timberwolves go on the road to San Antonio, where they win 104-102. Just an awesome game. I hope you watched it. Anthony Edwards was cleared from injury, only played 25 minutes, came off the bench, but scored the majority of his points in the fourth quarter. Was just an incredible, incredible player for them last night. And when you have a basketball roster that has a ton of size and is incredibly physical, you're a tough matchup for anybody. The Timberwolves were significantly more athletic than Denver was, and it's a large part of why they were able to win that series. And in this series, they are the more physical basketball team. And I think in order to beat a young, inexperienced Spurs team, you have to be physical, especially when you're defending Victor Wembanyama, when you're defending the Slender Man. He's incredible. With that being said, he still has some weaknesses in his game. He is not as strong with the ball as you would like him to be. And bigger defenders can push him around. So between 6'10" Jaden McDaniels, 6'9", but incredibly strong Julius Randle and Naz Reid, you have three good options that can give Wemby trouble. And he had a lot of trouble last night. 5 of 17 from the field, 0 of 8 from 3. It's not very good. And then obviously behind those guys, you've got 7-foot tall Rudy Gobert, a guy who doesn't get enough credit for how good he is at basketball. So defensively, I like the way that Minnesota lines up. They don't really play a guy who can't defend outside of Mike Conley, who's still incredibly experienced, and whenever he's on the floor, just constantly does good things for Minnesota. Like, he shot the ball really well last night, only played 24 minutes, but he hit 4 threes. He had 6 assists, and most importantly, 0 turnovers. That's a big deal against San Antonio because that's another team that can just really defend. Like, they live in your grill. Both of these teams do on defense. So the ability to not turn the basketball over is going to be very important in this series. The Minnesota Timberwolves only turned it over 10 times last night. The Spurs turned it over 13 times. And the story coming out of this game, a lot of people seem to be focusing on Victor Wembanyama because he had a triple-double with blocks. He set a new NBA playoff record with 12 rejections, which is just absurd. The previous record was 10, held by very famous Laker Andrew Bynum, which is nuts. When I heard that, I was like, it's not Tim Duncan or someone like that. Nope, Andrew Bynum back in 2010, if I remember correctly. So I really like this matchup for Minnesota. They have the physicality required to beat a team like San Antonio, and they're incredibly experienced. This is a team that has made the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row, and this just might be the team that exploits the lack of experience for the San Antonio Spurs. Again, it's a very underrated aspect of the playoffs. You need experience. It is something that just gives you an upper hand compared to, the younger teams that you're playing against. And the Timberwolves are only going to get better as this series continues. You can say, Jonathan, how do you know that? I know that because Anthony Edwards is eventually going to start again, and he's not going to play 25 minutes. He's going to play 35 minutes. And look, more Anthony Edwards for the Timberwolves is a really good thing, obviously. I mean, he's the best player on their team. They're also playing more Terrence Shannon Jr., who's just relentless. I mean, just going hard to the rim every time. It was a lot of fun. But in order for San Antonio to win this series, which, look, they're probably still favored. They are still more than capable of winning the series. But in order for it to happen, Victor Wembanyama has to be better. When you're 7'4", I would recommend half of your shots not coming from three. If you're 7'4", you should probably take more than 2 free throws. I like that he had 15 rebounds. I like that he had 12 blocks. But you're supposed to be one of the 5 best players on the planet. You're supposed to be so good that the lack of experience doesn't matter. 5 of 17 from the field, really? I mean, how about we get downhill just a little bit more? How about we drive by Rudy Gobert just a little bit more often? That would probably help. But I think this is going to be a tough, physical, defensive-minded series because I think those have been 3 of the character traits that have defined these two teams all year. So watch out for Wemby. See how his offense improves throughout the series. The other thing that I think is really important and needs to be paid attention to in this series is the fact that when you look at the Spurs and you look at the course of the season, Victor Wembanyama only plays like 28 minutes a night. The Spurs were very conscious of how many minutes a game Victor Wembanyama was playing. They wanted him fresh for the entire duration of the playoffs. And now they're in the playoffs. He's not playing 25 minutes a night in this series. He's going to play 38 to 40. How does his conditioning look? How does his body hold up against the physicality of Minnesota for 40 minutes a game? It's still very much a series. There is still a lot left for us to get into, but I think that series is going to be so much fun. 317-228-1430. That is the number. If you have takes on the NBA playoffs, the Colts, the Pacers, the lottery, all those things, 317-228-1430 if you would like to chat. We have games tonight as well. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they're playing the Pistons. This is going to be another tough series. If you enjoyed basketball in the 90s and you miss watching games where guys miss a ton of shots, you should watch these playoffs because that's kind of where we're at right now. Spurs and Wolves is going to be a slugfest. I do think that Knicks and 76ers is going to be much closer than it was last night with the Knicks winning by dang near 40. But tonight, we have more games. And the Cavaliers and Pistons is the first game tonight. I think it's going to be an awesome game. I think this is going to be another fun, tough series. I think the Cavaliers have a great chance to win this series just because they have more offensive creators compared to what the Pistons have. But Cade Cunningham's the best player in this series, make no doubt about it. And for some reason in the NBA, the best player in the series just kind of has a knack for winning the series. And I think because the Magic took the Pistons the distance, there is a lack of an understanding of how good Cleveland actually is. Orlando was a tough matchup for them. Everything that Detroit does to win, Orlando does really well. That is not Cleveland. Detroit out-physicals you, and they out-tough you. And this is a Cleveland Cavaliers team that has a history of getting pushed around in the playoffs. So if Cade Cunningham can continue to be the guy who averaged like 35 points a game over the last 3 games of that series against Orlando, and if Jalen Duren can impose his will against slim Evan Mobley and slim Jared Allen, then you have to like Detroit's chances as well. I think offense comes to them a lot easier in this series because you can go with guys like James Harden, who's not a very good defender. Sam Merrill tries hard, but he's not, he's a guy who you can kind of go after. Donovan Mitchell, good athlete, big wingspan, all those things. Not a prolific defender. You can attack him as well. So I think Cleveland's defense is worse. I think Detroit's offense comes much easier. The question is just going to be, what do the non-Cade Cunningham minutes look like for Detroit? If they look good, if they can survive in those minutes, then they're going to have an excellent chance to win this series. But if they can't, then we'll see Cleveland advance to the conference finals for the first time in quite some time. And then the other game tonight, Lakers, Thunder, it's the late game. Something tells me you're not going to have to stay up way too late tonight to watch the ending of that game. I think the Thunder absolutely dog the Lakers. Like, the Thunder are 15.5-point favorites, and I am incredibly tempted to take them to cover that. I think this is a 20-point blowout from the Thunder, even though Jalen Williams isn't going to play tonight. This is going to be a sweep or a gentleman's sweep, right? The Lakers don't have Luka probably for the series, and they don't have the depth to hang with the Thunder, even if Jalen Williams doesn't play. A talking point over the past couple of years around LeBron James has been him versus Father Time. When is Father Time finally going to beat LeBron James? Well, I think the really funny part about this series is it's LeBron James and the Lakers against Father Time and the Oklahoma City Thunder. This 41-year-old LeBron James is about to have a pack of NBA athletes between the ages of 22 and 26 thrown at him repeatedly over the course of this series. Guys that he's 18, 19 years older than. And I think he's going to be worn down by the end of it. Austin Reeves is going to have to play some of the best basketball of his life just to give the Lakers a chance. But even if he does that, they have no chance. Give me the Thunder to win this series going away. A lot of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander mid-range buckets and a lot of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander free throws as they bounce the Los Angeles Lakers. NBA players say things sometimes, and it really makes me upset. I talked yesterday about how Jaylen Brown went live on his Twitch. So stupid. Right after losing Game 7. In that little appearance online, he said that it was his favorite year of his basketball career. Not, a few years ago when he, won a freaking when he won a freaking NBA Finals and a Finals MVP. I don't know about you, Chris, but if I won the Finals and Finals MVP, that would probably be my favorite year of my career. Not the year where I led my team in scoring and might be second team All NBA.
I would agree with that. To each their own, I guess. Maybe something really stuck out to him this year that was better than that year, but I would imagine that winning a championship is the top of the mountain there.
That's what I would think. Not leading your team in field goal attempts. That's what he did. It's the most wide receiver take ever. Like AJ Brown's going to be traded away from Philly, and he's probably going to wind up in New England when they go like 10-7 and they lose in the first round of the playoffs. It's going to be like, this is awesome. I had 1,500 receiving yards this year, and he'll be happy because of it. And I'll never understand people like that. I wouldn't want people like that on my team. It's part of why I really enjoy, and I think a lot of people in general really enjoy watching this Pacers team play whenever Tyrese Halliburton's healthy, even when he's not healthy. It's just a team that moves the ball so well and is so in it, not just for themselves, but for everybody else, right? It's not about who's taking the most shots. It's about taking the most amount of correct shots in terms of taking open ones and open looks and all of those things. And so I don't know. I hate seeing things like that. And just pass on that. I don't need.
You were Jonathan out.
Yeah, I'm Jonathan out on Jaylen Brown saying that his favorite year of his basketball career is the year where he got to be selfish and take more shots than any other year of his career. I'm out on that.
Fair enough.
So I don't know. I'm very intrigued to see what happens with Boston over kind of the offseason, just because, like we talk about the Pacers competing to maybe get back to the NBA Finals next year. In addition to that, it matters what everybody else in the conference does, especially if the Pacers don't land a top 4 pick. We're going to find out about that on Sunday. Can't wait to find out about that. I think it's going to be a blast. I hope that they can hold on to it, but we will see what happens. Coming up in about 25 minutes, Chris and I are going to have our Cinco de Mayo draft. That'll be fun, as it always is. And then to keep kind of the Cinco de Mayo thing going here, I have a question. Is it a siesta or a fiesta that Anthony Richardson showed up to voluntary workouts? I will tell you which one it is in 3 minutes.
It may, one day, be a must-listen for sports enthusiasts.
Yeah, and monkeys might fly out of my butt.
The Real Jonathan Smith Show on Indy Sports Ticket 1430 AM, 93.9 HD2, and always on the free Indy Sports Ticket app.
Welcome back to the Real Jonathan Smith Show here on Indy Sports Ticket. Thanks for tuning in. No matter how you're tuning in, whether that's YouTube, X, the Indy Sports Ticket app, or 1430 AM, so many ways to listen. There's really no excuse not to. And, today's Cinco de Mayo. Have your tacos tonight. Drink your tequila. Have a good time. Do all that kind of stuff. I may try to make the wife happy. There's a very specific restaurant that sells street tacos that she loves, and I'm willing to go to. Not my favorite place, but, it's fine.
Any chance you get to make the wife happy, you should take it, though.
It's true. It's true. Let me look if they're doing, like, a special or anything. Our goal is to buy a house in, like, a year. And so we sat down a couple weeks ago and, like, really cut a lot of things in our budget. And so we got to check the budget to see if we can do it. Condado's Tacos. Great spot. It's probably going to be packed tonight. Actually, I don't know. It's Tuesday.
But it's Taco Tuesday.
That's kind of what I'm saying. It is Taco Tuesday. You're right. And it's Cinco de Mayo. I mean, certainly they've got some kind of deal. I don't know. We'll talk to the wife whenever we get home. We'll see if she wants to go out. But speaking of going out, Anthony Richardson is out and about, showing up for voluntary workouts. And is this a siesta or a fiesta for Anthony Richardson and for the Indianapolis Colts? How should you feel about this? Everyone knows what a fiesta is. It's a party, piñatas, the whole shebang. And for those who don't know what a siesta is basically an afternoon nap in Hispanic cultures. Right? It's taken like right after lunch. It's like a daily Sunday post-church lunch nap. Sounds amazing. Sign me up for that. We need that in our culture. Just don't sleep between noon and 3. But every day there's like this nap time that I guess that people take. So here's the fiesta argument. Here's why you should be excited that Anthony Richardson has showed up to voluntary workouts for the Indianapolis Colts. The guy's maturing. He's now a professional. I don't know if you saw the photos of him throwing yesterday. No backwards hat. No hat at all. Just a good old normal haircut. He's healthy, right? That eye is healed. And I do think that there's an understanding that he knows that if Daniel Jones isn't ready week 1, that he's the most talented guy in that room. Right? So this is a celebration of a guy putting the team first despite the drama and his wanting out of Indianapolis. Okay? That is the most optimistic, glass half full way to look at this. That is not how I look at this. I think this is more of a siesta. I think Anthony Richardson is quiet quitting. He's here to avoid fines. He's looking for a potential trade suitor. I know he's bummed out that every potential trade suitor drafted a quarterback, a little bit later in this year's NFL draft. I think Anthony Richardson understands that the Colts have moved on to Riley Leonard and Daniel Jones. He is essentially a ghost in a helmet until some sort of trade partner emerges to take on him and his contract. Okay? That is what he is right now. That is where it's out. And I think it is much more likely that this is a siesta because, yes, getting drafted 4th overall gets you a nice little payday, but they aren't nice enough to hold up against all those fines from missing training camp and more. So I am not super surprised that he's there. Okay, I think he's just there because he has to be. I don't think we're getting any sort of Anthony Richardson, re-emergement where everyone's like, oh, man, should Anthony Richardson be the starter going forward? With that being said, he is the most talented guy in that room. And if Daniel Jones does get hurt, I think he should be the guy over Riley Leonard because Riley Leonard was so good last year that they decided to bring in Phillip Rivers. So they would actually have a chance to win some games. With that being said, I do think that Chris Ballard and the rest of the Colts organization are happy that he's there. For them, it's a fiesta. They aren't going to waive Anthony Richardson, okay, because that is the ultimate admission that they missed on the pick. Every general manager in every sport is like this. They have egos. They don't want to admit that they're wrong on the guy that they took number 4 overall. They're not just going to waive him. There's no gain for it. There's a quarterback out there that is going to get hurt. Maybe it'll be Daniel Jones. Maybe this is a movie year in the making where Daniel Jones comes out. Colts start 2-0. Oh no, week 3 he gets hurt. And then we're going back to the number 4 overall pick, and Anthony Richardson leads the Colts to the playoffs, like we all thought he would when he got drafted, right? Probably not going to happen, but it could. So if your starting quarterback gets hurt, which it's going to happen somewhere this year, and someone's going to need a quarterback when that happens. If you don't have a serviceable backup, why not give up a 7th round pick for Anthony Richardson? If you're the 49ers and you have Mac Jones as your backup, yeah, you don't need Richardson. You don't need to give up a 7th round pick for him. But if you're the Jets, if you're perhaps Pittsburgh, let's say Aaron Rodgers decides not to play this year and it's Drew Aller starting week 1, would you rather have Will Howard or Anthony Richardson? You're losing games either way. Might as well put out the incredibly entertaining and intriguing guy named Anthony Richardson that can, at a minimum, put butts in seats. When it happens, your team's social media account can tweet out, "We got a stud," and just show 37 replays of that passing touchdown against the Texans from a couple years ago. And maybe if he figures it out, you have something special on your hands. That's why the Colts are holding on to him. And now, since he's showing up, you don't have to worry about the sideshow. You can do the thing where you have reporters say that he's grown and he's improved and he's matured, and you can start to repair the reputation that he has. Maybe that leads to some interest in him, because as of right now, there's absolutely none. So I am not surprised that he has shown up, and I think that the Colts should be happy that he decided to take some time out of his very busy training schedule in Jacksonville to show up and watch and participate in practice. Okay. What else is going on here? Kenny Moore is still a Colt. I think that's a big deal. And I think pretty much the exact same thing when it comes to him. He hasn't been traded yet. He's going to be traded before Anthony Richardson because he's a better player, and there are teams out there who still need corners. I read an article the other day about, kind of explaining why the Cowboys should call the Colts and trade a 5th round pick for him, or a 6th or a 7th, some sort of version of a day 3 pick. Don't just release him. Make Kenny Moore play a few games if you need to. Hold on to him until a cornerback on another team gets hurt and they need a replacement. I don't care if Kenny Moore's unhappy. They're paying him $10 million. Chris, would you accept $10 million to be unhappy?
Sure. I mean, I'm already unhappy. Might as well get paid for it.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Sorry.
No, it's cool. It's not your fault.
But
yes.
Seriously, though, it's like, man, I'm so unhappy. I have to live in Indianapolis and make $10 million. Ugh. Boo-hoo. I don't care if Kenny Moore's unhappy. You do not cut him until you absolutely have to. The Colts should wait as long as possible until they can get something for him. I'm not a fan of letting good football players that can help you walk for nothing, even if the Colts held on to him for 4 games before they eventually traded him. Like, maybe you go 3-1 in those games just because you have a good, reliable nickel corner. I don't know. But what I do know is you don't let good football players walk for nothing. That's just bad business. Therefore, it's Ballard's kind of business. That's the reality of it. Fernando Mendoza is going to be awesome. I love his press conferences. He is incredibly mature. The videos of him at practice, just, I don't know. It's practice, right? And they're not going at full speed. They're kind of working through the motions. There's going to be some adjustments for him. He's going to have to get used to playing under center and doing those kinds of things. With that being said, he looks good, man. And Vegas has some nice weapons for him to get the football to. I can't wait to watch and see kind of how he looks for the Raiders. When is the NFL schedule release? Because I'm excited to see what the Raiders schedule looks like. Oh, it's coming up. It's going to happen anywhere between May 12th. Wait. The targets is apparently May 12th through 14th, somewhere in there. Or May 18th through 21st. So here in a couple weeks, we are going to get an idea of what the schedule looks like. And it is such an important thing because once we get the schedule, we can start making our over-under bets. And that's where I don't want to brag because as soon as I start bragging, I'm going to go 0-3. With that being said, my over-under picks are usually pretty solid. Okay? That's just the truth of the matter. Okay? And like as soon as we get it, I'm telling you, man, we're going to start letting those puppies absolutely rip. So, can't wait for that. I'll probably take the Raiders over whatever it winds up being because I am a believer in Fernando Mendoza. I am a believer in Coach Kubiak, even though he is a first-year head coach. He can only do a better job than what Pete Carroll did. That dude was there for a year, and then they decided to let him go. So I can't wait to see what he looks like going forward. I can't wait. I've said that 7 times now, so I'm going to stop saying that. But yeah, the Raiders, I do think are one of those teams that I think are going to look much, much better. I think the Giants fall into that category as well. And the Jets, all 3 of those teams are on schedule watch. As soon as I can look at their schedules, I will decide whether or not I'm going to bet their overs or not. With the Colts, I can tell you right now what their over-under is going to be. It's going to be set at either 7.5 or 8.5. I'd be very surprised if it was at 9.5. Maybe they draw an incredibly soft schedule. It's very possible. But even if they do, this roster just I saw someone say it the other day on Twitter. The Colts released like this 35-second video where they just said cinema, and it was guys stretching. I don't know what's cinematic about that, but anyway. And someone, like the top comment was something along the lines of, in my 22 years of fandom, I've never been less excited. And you shouldn't be excited. This is a bad product. That's what Colts football is. It is an average to below average product. Why would you be excited about that? I mean, you're going to get the same thing that you've gotten for the last, 6 years, 8 and 9. Every time there's a graphic that shows the playoff picture past week 12, it's going to say that the Colts are in the hunt and they're going to be close enough to the playoffs that we're invested through like week 16, and then they'll lose a game that they probably shouldn't lose, and then you can kiss the playoffs goodbye.
I think this season will rank up there with the seasons that we had, like Curtis Painter, Dan Orlovsky. Is going to be that kind of situation this year. We have to fall all the way down before we can start falling back up.
But that's how it is.
Last year, wasn't it?
And like they should have done this a few years. Like they should have repeatedly done this. Like I continue to go back to Denver. They were bad 1 year. They drafted Bo Nix, and if Bo Nix doesn't get hurt in the AFC Championship game last year, there's a decent chance that they're playing in the Super Bowl. And so I just be awful 1 year, fire Ballard, even though you can't be awful this year because you gave up your first round pick. So I get it. We're gonna hate that trade so much next year when there's 7 first-round quarterbacks taken and the Colts can't take one because they gave up not 1 but 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. Jeez Louise. All right. It's Cinco de Mayo. In 5 minutes, Chris and I are going to do our Cinco de Mayo party draft. things that you have to have at a Cinco de Mayo gathering that is coming your way in about 4.5 minutes. If you want to look and feel your best this summer, Indiana Medical Center is your solution. They are a leading medical spa offering transformative, non-surgical treatments. This Friday at 9 a.m., go to indiesportsticket.com and click on the Sweet Deals tab to get any body sculpting, skin tightening, or facial rejuvenation, a $399 treatment for only $149.
Jonathan Smith Show on Indy Sports Ticket, 1430 AM, 93.9 HD2, and always on the free Indy Sports Ticket.
Welcome back. Hour number 3 of the Real Smith Show. Getting underway here. Thanks for tuning in. No matter how you tune in, YouTube, Indy Sports Ticket, for everything. Subscribe. If you watch the show on X, _for Jonathan Smith, follow and watch the show there. You can also listen on the Indy Sports Ticket app for 14:30 a.m. No matter how you're listening, it's greatly appreciated. It is 2 o'clock. We've been teasing it all show. Time to pay off the tease. Chris and I, in honor of Cinco de Mayo, are going to do a Cinco de Mayo draft. How many things do we want to draft?
I picked 5 just by default, but we
That
don't have
sounds
to do
good.
5.
5 is great.
Okay.
Five is great. All right. I will allow you to have the first pick.
Oh, it's my pick. I get to go first.
Yep.
All right. I won the lottery apparently, huh? What's the NFL Cinco de Mayo draft? Okay. With my first pick in the Cinco de Mayo draft, just to let you guys know, these are things that you need on Cinco de Mayo, right?
Things for like a Cinco de Mayo party, something like that.
Sure. Understood. I'm going to think outside the box for my first pick and say a designated driver.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nobody's going to go to any Cinco de Mayo parties, drink a lot of tequila, and be able to just walk out. Okay. So you need a driver. That's my first pick.
That's a great first pick. That's so good. I didn't think about that at all. Showing my age there a little bit, I guess. I don't know.
No, it's fine.
No, I'm just not a lightweight.
Touche.
Mine is in the same vicinity. I'm gonna go some sort of like margarita cocktail for your party or drinking pleasures.
Yeah, that's good. Doesn't need much explanation there. My second pick would obviously be chips and salsa.
Yeah, that's good.
Because there's never a bad time for that, but if you're not, you still need something before the tacos, I think, and chips and salsa right up your alley there.
For clarity here.
Yep.
I couldn't respond and be like chips and guacamole.
No, I think it's the same department.
This is like all encompassing
You
stuff.
have to ask the judges.
All right. We don't have any judges.
That's chips
That's
and
the
salsa's
best part.
little brother, guacamole, right?
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not a chips and salsa fan. Much more of a chips and guac, chips and queso kind of guy. But, hey, it's, this works though. I like it.
Fair enough.
That cuts it all out.
Very good.
All right. Man, I can't believe I'm getting this in round 2, the 4th overall pick. Taco bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a gimme too. I would take that. Good choice. Good choice.
I'm good. Hey, man, we got margaritas and tacos at my place. I think we're set.
I got somebody who's not drinking and chips and salsa. We're slow
We're
start,
getting there.
but we're getting there.
We're getting there.
All right, so my third pick, I don't know if you're old enough to remember a restaurant called Chi-Chi's,
No.
but when I was younger, there was a restaurant called Chi-Chi's. It was like the American Mexican restaurant type stuff. And they had a dessert there called fried ice cream. It was amazing. That is my third pick, fried ice cream. And some of you may or may not remember fried ice cream from Chi-Chi's.
Now it's a party.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. Fried ice cream. With your third pick. With my third pick, I'm going dessert as well. It's a little more festive. I'm going to go a piñata.
As a dessert?
I mean, there's candy in the piñata.
I was going to say, you can't eat that. I don't think.
I mean, you get to beat it. And then after that, when all the candy falls out, I guess unless you don't want it to be candy, I guess what else could you put inside of a piñata?
I would say money, but it might get kind of heavy unless you're putting all bills in there.
You're just putting like coins. Some poor kid is like standing underneath waiting and gets decked by a roll of quarters.
That'd be great.
It's
a good choice, though. I didn't think of piñata. That's a good choice.
I'm trying to think. Obviously candy.
Right.
Money would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You could do like gift cards. That's
True.
Probably a better version of that.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Very
Okay.
good. All right.
Your fourth pick.
My fourth pick, another obvious one. They go hand in hand with Cinco de Mayo, I would say. Cervezas, Corona,
Corona. Nice.
with some lime, of course. But yeah, no, I mean, you took the margaritas earlier. I got to
did.
take the Coronas here.
You did. That's good. I got a lot of ways to go here. Oh, man. I'm not going to pick that. I don't think people would know what that is. I would go I'm going to go, do you know what horchata is?
I've heard of it.
It is it sounds terrible, but it's so good. It is creamy cinnamon infused rice milk. And it's incredible. It's so good.
Okay.
Going horchata. A little non-alcoholic beverage for your designated driver.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking because I've heard of rum chata, but that's not the same, right? That's more like a liquor compared to what you're talking about.
It's probably rum in horchata. That's probably what it is.
Okay.
If I had to guess.
That makes
Going
sense.
strictly off the name. That'd be my guess.
Very good. All right, my last pick, probably not very popular, but I'm a music person and we got to have some music at our Cinco de Mayo. So I'm not just going to take a mariachi band. I'm just going to take Bad Bunny right off the bat. Bad Bunny.
Just Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny is at my Cinco de Mayo party. There you go.
Okay. You win. I think everyone's gonna want to come. To yours now. All right, I have one more pick. I've got margaritas, a taco bar, a piñata, horchata. I'm down to two here, and I'm trying to think of all of my Hispanic friends that I had growing up. Would they be disappointed in me if I didn't take Mexican street corn?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would be. So I'm going to take Mexican street corn. That's what I'm going to go with.
Good choice.
It was between that or tres leches.
Oh, okay.
So that's another dessert for the people out there who don't know. Really good one.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yep. So yeah, I guess my runner-up would be the salsa verde Doritos. They kind of discontinued them, but lately here in Speedways, I've been seeing them. They're the green bag.
I've seen them. Yeah, I've had them. They're good.
Those are the best Doritos ever.
Ever. Okay.
In my opinion. But there you go. There's our Cinco de Mayo draft.
Okay.
5 for 5 on a Taco Tuesday.
To recap the round, Chris's first round pick, number 1 overall, going designated driver.
Safety first.
Followed by chips and salsa, fried ice cream, Coronas, and Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's crazy. That's all right. For me, I went margaritas, a taco bar, a piñata, horchata, and then Mexican street corn, which is all absolutely incredible. Ross, I can't read that. I got this stupid thing in the way. Every Cinco de Mayo party needs what? Someone said Pitbull. Why'd you take Bad Bunny over Pitbull?
Pitbull's not bad, but I think he's like the Taco Bell of Mexican music. You know what I'm saying? Bad Bunny's a little bit more authentic.
Yeah. That's fair.
Reference
We're not
the
line
Super Bowl.
dancing to we're not line dancing to Bad Bunny on Wednesday nights. We are line dancing to Pitbull though.
Okay, that's fair. Mr. 305 is good too.
Yeah. What else here?
Should have taken probably Shakira first, though.
Oh, you're right.
You know what I mean?
That would have been, yeah.
She can sing whatever she wants. I don't care.
Whatever she wants. Let's look here. I don't know what that is. Chi-Chi's. Oh, that's the restaurant you made. Jello shots inside of a piñata. I don't know how that would go. Because it has to be something that can hit the ground and you can then pick up.
They can if they have the lids on it. You know what I mean? The little plastic.
That's true.
thing.
Yeah.
But it's probably not for kids.
It's probably not. It's probably not. Here, best things to put in a piñata. Small toys like bouncy balls. I don't know about that. Stickers, no. Wearable items.
Yeah, like beads. Yeah.
These are
I've seen
bad.
those.
None of these are cool. None of these are cool. All right. I mean, someone said ice. I don't know about that. That's a side sidestep. We're not talking about that.
My
Pass. I'm not. No way. Not opening that can of worms. Speaking of cans of worms, NIL for high school students in Indiana has been approved, and I don't know. My guess here is we're gonna have people freak out about this because anytime you put those 3 letters NIL in any sentence, people immediately find a way to have a problem with it. Seafitch said a sombrero. I mean,
also good. Yep.
I don't know, man. If I showed up to a Cinco de Mayo party and someone was like, "Here's your sombrero, wear it the whole night," I'd be like, "I'm good, thanks though.
Oh
I
man.
appreciate the thought, but I'm okay." You know what I think someone should do? I think someone should go to Churchill Downs next year and wear a sombrero. Just the most obnoxiously large sombrero that they can find.
Yeah. Why is this not happening already?
Seriously,
Can we fund this?
that would be awesome.
Can we make this happen?
That'd be incredible. Anyway, as I was saying here, NIL for high school students. Again, people probably are going to freak out about this. I don't think this is a big deal. I think this is going to apply to like 1% of high school athletes in Indiana. You might see a couple high school kids in car commercials or something like that. Maybe there's a guy that Indiana's trying to recruit, and some famous car dealership owner's like, "Hey, kid, give you an NIL deal right now to be in commercials for my car company, but you have to go to Indiana." I'm sure that we'll see things like that, but I mean, I don't think it's going to have any sort of a major impact on the majority of these kids. It may open up some sort of window for colleges to start paying Indiana kids earlier. I know that's a thing in California where like there's high school seniors getting checks from wherever they're going to wind up going to college. Talk about doing stupid things. I mean, I'm not giving you $1 until your name is signed on your letter of intent. Until I know 100% you are coming to my school. Could you imagine giving a 17-year-old, $100,000 because they gave you a verbal commitment? Stupid.
I mean, as a parent, and my youngest is getting ready to graduate high school. The only sports that she really played was like softball, volleyball, and she's not going to college for sports. But if given the opportunity, somebody wanted to pay her to do that, I think it would take a lot of humbling to keep their head out of the clouds and stay focused instead of just being like, well, I don't have to work anymore. I think that like cuts off their drive to like get better or go pro or something. They're like,
Yeah.
well, since I'm making all this now, I don't have to try, down the road. I'm set. I'm good. You know what I mean? I think that's what would happen. But, thankfully, my kids aren't into that.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And that's another side of this where it's like, how does it impact these high school kids who are kind of in that 1% where they're landing NIL deals for however much money? I'm just really intrigued to kind of see how all of it kind of goes, because I do think that most cases are going to be kind of like what I've mapped out here. Like you get NIL deals when you're a senior in high school, because you're going to some big alum schools who owns a business, or you commit to play football at Alabama and some single tooth alumni down there decides to give you a bunch of money for that. And so I don't think that it's going to impact very, very many people, but I do think that's a really good point of the sense of entitlement that comes with that when you're 17 years old, of like, oh, like I'm already getting paid a bunch of money to do this. Like I'm set, I couldn't imagine being a parent of that.
Yeah. IU fan brought up that Manning's son would get an NIL deal. I can't remember his name right now. I know he's already out there throwing. Do you think that is a different circumstance whenever your dad is Peyton Manning or you have a parent that's a pro?
It is different. because your parents have dealt with that kind of money before. Also, Peyton Manning's son, there are certain things that happen to kids, and you can just tell that they're going to be really good or not. The field that kid's throwing on is, I believe it's, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to Baylor High School, which that probably doesn't mean anything to you. There are two all boys high schools in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's where my parents live. One of them is Baylor, and that is like they recruit you to play football there, all that kind of stuff. The fact that he's going to Baylor tells me all that I need to know about that kid. Because like you don't go play for Baylor unless you're an absolute stud. You know what I mean? So, I mean, look, he's going to be really good. Maybe he does earn an NIL deal of some sorts. It'll be a really interesting thing. John chiming in with a really good question. Will NIL make youth sports even more toxic? Parents will really see a payday now. I think that's an excellent point. How do parents handle this? I'm so intrigued to kind of see how all of this stuff kind of pans out, especially here in Indiana. I don't know what other states outside of California have approved the high school NIL stuff, but it's a fascinating thing, and we'll see how it goes. Like the more that this NIL stuff happens, the less that I want it to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Especially in that range of the high school getting whatever up until college, man. Because in a sense, I think that takes away from like the team aspect of it too. Because I mean, the kids learn how to be on a team in those years, and if you throw money at them, they're no longer worried about the team aspect, right?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Because like once money gets involved, everything changes. Everything changes. I'll never forget sitting with Madre Hill before I got into high school. For those who don't know, played running back at Arkansas, had a short NFL career due to injuries. But he was just talking about the difference between playing excuse me, in college and in the pros, and how money just changes everything about everybody when you introduce large amounts of money. So I'm intrigued to see what it does to parents, what it does to kids. We'll see how it goes. It feels like a slippery slope. Big brain take right here. You ready? What if this Fox Sports Chief World Cup watcher is really just a way for Eric Shanks, a high ranking corporate guy in Fox, IU alum? What if it's just a way for him to pay a kid to go to IU? Do you see what I'm saying?
I'm a little slow. I'm trying to follow though.
So
Like,
Fox Sports is hiring a chief World Cup watcher to watch all 104 matches from a custom-built personal office in Times Square. They're going to pay that person $50,000.
right.
There's a guy named Eric Shanks, graduated from IU, has a very important job within Fox Sports where he'll probably have a say in whoever gets this job.
Okay.
What if he's using this job as an opportunity to pay like a big-time IU soccer recruit?
Okay. Now I'm with you.
I'm kidding. That's
I mean, just like IU fans said, kind of whatever it takes, man. I
whatever
mean,
it takes.
if that's what it comes down to, then I don't know. What other reason would there be?
I don't know. We'll talk more about the Fox Sports hiring a chief World Cup watcher. Would you do it? How little money would you be willing to take to do it? And all that kind of stuff in 3 minutes.
The best takes. Maybe. The Real Jonathan Smith Show on Indy Sports Ticket 1430 AM, 93.9 HD2, and always on the free Indy Sports Ticket app.
Welcome back to the Real Jonathan Smith Show here on Indy Sports Ticket. Thanks for tuning in, no matter how you're tuning in. YouTube, X, the Indy Sports Ticket app, 1430 AM. It is always, always appreciated. Tomorrow, around this time, we will be giving away tickets to Holiday World, so make sure you were tuned in around this time tomorrow, probably at 2 o'clock. That's usually when we play our games. So 2 o'clock tomorrow, we'll give away more tickets to Holiday World. Chris with a great point during the break. During our Cinco de Mayo draft, one of us should have taken like toilet paper.
Yeah, all of the stuff leading up to that. Probably you would need some toilet paper for sure.
Probably. You know what I should have taken? A
Price
12-pack of tacos from Taco Bell.
Right. Some dude wipes, would probably be
Some
good.
dude wipes. Yep, there you go.
I saw something earlier that Taco Bell used to have like a 10-pack for like $4.89.
Yeah.
Like back in the day. Oh man, what has happened to prices of tacos? I go to Taco Bell now and get like 2 cheesy gordita crunches.
Love it. It's like $10.
Yeah, like 10,
I know.
11 bucks for like 2 tacos.
The cheesy gordita crunch is elite.
Right.
It's incredible.
Best of both
I used
worlds.
to live on that stuff.
Yeah,
When I was in college, I lived in a town. It was like the only McDonald's in the country that closed. Like every other McDonald's was 24 hours. The one in Arkadelphia closed at midnight. The only place open after midnight was Taco Bell. And my mom wouldn't let me have it growing up. Probably a good call on her part. And then I get to college and dude, cheesy gordita crunches, way more than I should have had. Their grilled cheese burrito, incredible.
Is there a reason why you couldn't have it growing up? Like something specific? Were you allergic to something? Or
Nope, not allergic. Just not good for you. And more importantly, this is the truth of the matter. I hate to throw him under the bus. My dad, not a fan of Taco Bell. So whenever we went out, we were not allowed to eat Taco Bell because my dad doesn't like it.
Okay.
I know. Who doesn't like sloppy Mexican food? That's really what it is.
Yeah, it's the Walmart of Mexican food.
Yeah, it is.
I know, like out on the West Coast, they have more of a selection of fast food tacos. Like there's I can't think of the name at the moment, but
Someone mentioned a place in the YouTube chat that's apparently pretty good.
Taco Bueno. Taco Bueno has multiple options of fast food there, but their tacos are mid. Probably Taco Bell better than that.
Taco Tico?
Del Taco too, yes. Good job, Ross. Del Taco was a decent one too out there.
Del Taco. Okay. All right. I don't mind it. I'll try it at some point if I ever get out there. Who is that? Oh, it's Jonathan Taylor looks a little hefty in this video.
He's had a few burritos, huh?
Yeah. Few too many cheesy gordita crunches. It could just be because he's wearing his hoodie underneath his shirt. Not great though. Not great at all. Anyway, speaking of tacos, the World Cup coming up here soon. And if you haven't seen this story, Fox Sports is going to hire a chief World Cup watcher to watch all 104 matches from a custom-built personal office in Times Square. They're paying this person $50,000. It's about $1,282 a day. That's $480 a game. I know we both agreed earlier we would do this. What is the lowest amount of money you would do this for?
For all the games or just per game?
All the games.
For all the games, the least amount I'd probably still do it for the price of one game. If you paid me $500, I mean, it's $500.
To watch all 104?
I didn't have that $500 before.
That's a lot of time.
I'm easy to please, dude. How about you?
That's like, let me think. Let's say that's 208 hours. That's like $2 an hour.
But I'm not doing anything but sitting on my backside.
Again, I would like more information. Like, are they making you pop on studio shows? Are they making you write articles? Are they making you do all of this on, Twitch or whatever it is, right? John Geidel, I hope I said your name right, Torchy's Tacos is really good, by the way. That's a great call.
I wonder if that's like a situation where, like, if you're watching a game and like the NFL, they have to call the officials in New York and say, "Hey, what did you guys see? Is there anything involved?"
I don't think so. I think you're just watching the games.
Okay.
I would do it. You said for $500. No way. That's a lot. That's a lot of time.
Okay. Maybe $5,000. Let's do that. $5,000.
Yeah, that's a little more. That's more reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably do it for $5,000. I think. I mean, I'm gonna watch most of the matches anyway, just because I think it's fun. So yeah, why not? $5,000 is probably the lowest I would do it for. Fox, if you want to call me, feel free.
They're like, we'll save money where we can. Get that guy that wants to do it for $500.
What happens if you fall asleep though?
You're fired.
Like, I mean, I'm just saying. Oh, Buzzard with a list. Top 5 Tuesday.
Okay.
Fast food places not worth the price anymore. Number 1 is Jaggers. Disagree. Jaggers is so good.
Disagree. Yeah. Love Jaggers.
I'll pay it.
Next.
2, Chipotle/Qdoba. Fair.
I loved Qdoba more than Chipotle.
I mean, it's a lot of money for chicken and rice. That's really what you're getting.
True.
So that's fair. Arby's. I like Arby's.
Nope. Not a fan of Arby's. Their food's always cold. Always. Every time I
It's
ordered
roast beef.
Well, no. I mean, just the other stuff too. Their chicken sandwiches and even their fries.
You're going to the wrong one. Which one do you go to?
The one on Emerson and Thompson area.
Okay, go to the one on 135 in Worthsville. It's a little south for you, but
you love Arby's.
That Arby's is good.
Okay.
That one's really good. Jersey Mike's, totally agree.
I never really had the Jersey Mike's.
Any sub place that is not Potbelly, I'm not. Or what's the other place?
Jimmy John's. I like Jimmy John's.
Not Jimmy.
Are you talking about Firehouse subs?
No. Gosh dang it, it's gonna bother me. Their pizza sub's incredible. Whenever the Pacers went, Penn Station. There it is. Penn Station and Potbelly. Those are the only 2 sub places I'll go spend the money.
Okay.
That's it. Chick-fil-A. What? Absurd.
They bump their prices up just because they can. You know they're going to sell it, so they're going to charge you whatever they want.
Yeah. It's also the best and highest quality fast food restaurant. It should cost more than everybody else. Because it's the best.
I wouldn't say it's gone downhill, no.
It's so good. Hard disagree, Buzzard. I'm sorry.
Ross, Jaggers is owned by, Bubba's, I think. They're a partnership with Bubba's, but Jaggers is more like a drive-thru as opposed to a sit-down restaurant.
Dude, Jaggers is Chick-fil-A, but for burgers. That's how I describe it. It is a higher-end fast food place. Is that?
I would go for that. Their spicy chicken sandwich is amazing.
Haven't had that yet.
Never let me down.
I'd have to, though.
Every time.
Sounds good. All right. Dude, that sounds so good. Like, pay me $50,000 to sit in Times Square, DoorDash in some Jaggers, and watch soccer. I mean, sign me up. That sounds amazing. All right. Golly. We are going to close the show out with Top 10 Tuesday. So I don't want to get to that quite yet, because today's Top 10 Tuesday is freaking awesome. We talked NIL, high school students. We drafted things for Cinco de Mayo. We talked about the Colts and trade. Oh, we got a phone call. Perfect. It's Buzzard. You know it's Buzzard. Yeah, it's always Buzzard. I know his number by heart now. Yeah, I can see it. Buzzard, what's going on, man?
I'm correcting myself just to make sure that I'm clear. Those are my top 5 only places really worth it to go to. Where this is where the value of what you pay for matches the quality. So if you go to Taco Bell, for instance, you're spending $12 on a stomach ache.
He's not wrong.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah. That I like that list a lot more that way then. Okay. I have a question for you, Buzzard.
Yep.
If one of your kids was offered an NIL deal as a high school student, how would you deal with that?
I would take it. And I think it's just, I'm all about free market. Not I would take it, my kids would take it, but I'm all about free market and get what you need. I like the way the high school thing is set up, though, as far as you can't incorporate your own high school. You can't have your logo and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to make money, you can go ahead and make money. But it's just at this point, with all the money that's going around in college, who cares? Like high school kids, I don't know if one of my kids on the 5-year-old baseball team that I run, if they want to get an NIL deal, go ahead. They can be sponsored by Culver's if they want.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great. Forget post-game orange slices. You're getting post-game burgers.
It's like that commercial where you see where the kids are like graduating and they're all have changed their name to a local business.
Yep.
Is that where we're heading? Like,
now accepting their diploma, Culver's on Emerson Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the all-time best sponsorship of all time was the Bad News Bears being sponsored by Chico's Bail Bonds. So that's the all-time best.
That is the all-time best. That's a great pull. That's a great movie. I've got like a list of movies that I need to show Amelia, and I need to put the Bad News Bears on there.
Yep, that and High Fidelity. High Fidelity is a great date night movie. So there you go.
We watched Hitch 2 nights ago. That's a great date night movie as well, if you haven't seen that one.
Total chick flick.
I love that movie. It's so good.
It's a good one, though.
It's
You need to add Idiocracy to your list. I know I told you about it before, and everything that we're talking about, if you guys have seen Idiocracy, they're talking about, brought to you by Carl's Jr. That's how life is going. We're going to be everything. Why do you keep saying that? Because they pay me every time I do. You need to watch that. It's good stuff.
All right. I'll check it out. Buzzard, thanks for the call, man.
All right. Go have some Jaggers. See ya.
Will do. See ya. Love Buzzard. Love his calls. Yeah, seriously. You're going to have high school students walking around with different logos just like on their chest. It's like, hey, man, why are you wearing that Raising Cane shirt? Thought you hated their chicken. Oh, I do. It's terrible, but they pay me to wear it.
That's right. Yep. That's exactly where we're going. Everything we do is going to be sponsored by something.
That's right.
This deep breath is brought to you by Tom's Auto Garage or something crazy.
Should we sponsor a high school athlete?
Maybe we should. Sponsored by the real Jonathan Smith
Sponsored
Show.
by the real Jonathan Smith Show. It has to be an undersized, scrappy point guard who's got no chance at playing in college.
And wears his hat the right way.
And wears his hat forward. That's right. Okay. That'd be awesome.
We should totally do it. Let's have a whole softball team, the real Jonathan Smith softball team or something.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're having a lot of fun today. This is good. We will close out the show with Top 10 Tuesday. I think one of the better ones that I've done here in 3 minutes.
If it's in today's sports world, it's here. The Real Jonathan Smith Show on Indy Sports Ticket 1430 AM, 93.9 HD2, and always on the free Indy Sports Ticket app.
Welcome back to the Real Jonathan Smith Show here on Indy Sports Ticket. Thanks for tuning in, no matter how you're tuning in. YouTube, X, the Indy Sports Ticket app, 1430 AM. So many ways to listen. There's really no excuse not to. And we are closing this Tuesday show out in the best way possible. We're going to do a little bit of Top 10 Tuesday.
Top 10 Tuesday!
It's such a good intro. It sounds so good. All right, Top 10 Tuesday in honor of Cinco de Mayo. It is Cinco de Mayo themed. I've taken 10 players in the NBA playoffs, and I'm just going to tell you what taco ingredient they are. Starting at number 10, we've got LeBron James. LeBron James is the tortilla. He has held the Lakers together in the absence of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. I know Kevin Durant didn't play in that series against the Rockets. Trust me, in 10 years, when LeBron fans try to pass that off as some master achievement, I will be the first one to raise my hand and say the Rockets' best player didn't play in the series. But I don't care about that in this context. That dude is 41 years old. He has reached a point where he's just like a timeless classic in the NBA, like the tortilla. He's not going anywhere. And he's done everything for the Lakers. And that's why they won that series. He is the tortilla that holds the Lakers together. Without him, it's just like a mess of toppings that's no good whatsoever. So LeBron James is your tortilla. Next, we've got Jalen Brunson. He's the steak. He's the meat of the Knicks in this postseason. He's incredibly tough. He's reliable. He carries the heaviest load. If he's not rolling for the Knicks, then their offense becomes a collection of accessories without anything that really makes them an asset. He raises the level of everything around him. Could you imagine eating a taco that's nothing but sour cream, lettuce, and tomatoes? No. Pass. Absolutely not. He is the substance that makes the New York Knicks a threat. Next on the list, we've got Anthony Edwards. He is the chorizo. Anthony Edwards is pure spice and high energy. He's oily, like the way that he slides through defenses. He is incredibly bold, and he leaves a lasting impression. He is the most aggressive flavor in the Western Conference right now. He is wildly entertaining, and I just hope he can get to a healthier level for the Timberwolves in their series against the Spurs. Play 25 minutes in game one. Hopefully he can reach a point where he's playing like 35 instead. Next on the list, we got Victor Wembanyama. He's the shell. He's 7'4", and the structural integrity is incredibly important. We have all eaten taco shells that just fall apart. Like, you take one bite, the crunch is satisfying, but as you pull away with your mouth full, let's not say it like that. Sometimes the taco shell then falls apart, like historical NBA players over 7 feet tall. If the shell is weak, then the whole taco falls apart. Victor Wembanyama holds everything together for the Spurs on both ends of the floor. And he's the reason why they could win the NBA Finals. They need his structural integrity to hold up over the course of the playoffs and in this series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Next on the list, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the cilantro. Incredibly polarizing. You could argue he's the most polarizing player in the NBA. Half of the fans think that he's a fresh savior of the number 1 seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. The other half thinks he's overrated and tastes like soap. You either love him or you don't. And if you love him, then you admire his mid-range game, and how it really elevates everything around him. And if you hate him, then you complain about the whistle that he gets. Both sides, I think, are correct here. Next on the list, number 5, we've got Tyrese Maxey. He is the onions. He is small, sharp, and is very capable of making you cry. Okay, he is the bite that catches the defense off guard. He's the fastest player in the NBA, and his speed and three-point shooting has the ability to add a ton of flavor to that 76ers offense like an onion. He just has to get easier shots. Next on the list, 4th here, Joel Embiid. He's the guacamole. He's the extra ingredient that is both premium and high quality, but is also rather fragile and expensive. Sometimes he's perfectly ripe. Sometimes he's a bit bruised. When he's perfectly ripe, the 76ers are more than capable of beating anybody. Okay, they are immensely talented, or he is immensely talented in that way. But when he's bruised, they wind up being like the 7 seed in the Eastern Conference. And he makes a $10 taco taste like you just picked it up off of the gutter in the street. Not something that you really want. Number 3, we got Donovan Mitchell. He's sour cream. He's supposed to be the closer that kind of smooths everything out. But if you have too much of him, it's not a good thing. I've had a taco where I put way too much sour cream on it, and it's disgusting. The whole thing gets messy, and it lacks balance. I think that's part of why he's never made it to the conference finals. He's an awesome postseason player, but you need a little bit of Darius Garland or James Harden to advance past the second round. Too much sour cream, not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Number 2 on the list is James Harden. He's radish, a traditional garnishment that's mostly there for show at this point. You know, like he had some crunch, but he's certainly not the main course anymore. He is at a point in his career where he needs to be the second option. You know, he'll make you ooh and ah from time to time, but if he's the main ingredient, you're not winning playoff games. Could you imagine biting into a taco where the radish is like the main ingredient? It's disgusting. Get that vegan stuff out of here, man. I don't want that. Give me some meat. You know what I mean? Number 1, Cade Cunningham, last guy here on the list. He's your salsa verde. Smooth, cool, and tangy. He doesn't need to be loud to be effective. He's the sneaky heat that finishes you off before you realize it. He's the best player in the playoffs that no one pays any attention to. He's one of the 10 best players in the world. He does everything for the Pistons, and he makes everything look incredibly easy despite having to carry such a large load. There are some tacos that are average. You know, you eat it like, this is okay. But then you put like really good salsa verde on there, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, this taco is incredible. That is what Cade Cunningham does. He takes a very average taco in the form of the Detroit Pistons roster that would probably be like a tough, scrappy 6 seed in the Eastern Conference without him, and he makes them a number 1 seed. It's incredible what he does. Can't wait to watch him play tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those are your 10. That is your top 10 Tuesday. 10 NBA playoff players as different ingredients in a taco. Shout out to Ross earlier who said Isaiah Stewart is the gut punch you get after you eat a taco or something like that. I thought that was really funny. I thought that was good. So there you go. That is your top 10 Tuesday. John Buzzer says James Harden is the loose hair that makes you return what should have been a good burrito. In the final hour, he disappoints. But on the bright side, when you return the burrito and say there's a hair in it, they should give you a new one.
Right.
So, I mean, is James Harden really the ultimate winner? I don't know. Oh, man.
Hair in any food is
disgusting.
Highly disturbing.
Seriously, I can't do it. Like, I'm not a send food back to the kitchen guy ever. With that being said, if there's hair in my food, I'm gonna say something. Because I mean, like you know, it's not on purpose. You know, it's just something that kind of happens. And
Yeah, you're right, but you're working with food. Let's try to not make that happen.
yeah, but I mean, like theoretically, you would hope that they're all wearing various clothing, and you would think that they're wearing stuff to kind of keep that from happening. That's what I would think, at least. I don't know. Maybe I mean, all the restaurants that I worked in growing up, that's what happened. So, I don't know.
It's going to be soggy burritos today. Apparently, it's supposed to rain the rest of the day.
Dude,
So
I hate it, man. I was gonna go on a walk when I got home. It was gonna be lovely, but now it's gonna even if it stops raining, it's gonna be all muggy. Pass. John Buzzer says he found a plastic bread tie in his Popeyes chicken sandwich. Yeah, that's the most Popeyes thing ever. If you had said I found a plastic bread tie in my chicken sandwich, guess which restaurant it came from? Popeyes would have been at the top of that list.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Popeye's notorious for having wrong orders and stuff in their food, but when I get it right, it's good. I'll give them that.
Hey, the Popeyes chicken sandwich is good. They just get it wrong a little bit too often for me. You know what chicken place is incredibly overrated?
Overrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Slims. Excuse me. Raising Cane's.
Overrated. Okay.
It's not good. The chicken's dry. If you want sauce, they only offer one kind. The fries are okay.
I've only had it once, and it wasn't in Indiana. It was before it came to Indiana. I had it in like Tulsa or something when I lived out there, but somebody was praising them earlier.
Yeah, I saw it, and I wanted to throw up when I saw it. It is so incredibly average. It's not that it's bad. It's just very average, and people talk about it like it's the best thing ever. Meanwhile, there are Slim's Chickens in Indiana, and Slim Chickens is incredible.
I've heard it was
best
good.
tenders.
Yeah,
I've ever best restaurant tenders ever. So, I mean, all these different, sauces and things. Oh, it's so good. Freaking love it.
What's one place that you promised yourself or swore that you would never ever go to ever again, restaurant wise?
Oh man.
Like if anybody brings it up, you're like, hard no. I'm not doing it.
That's a really good question. I don't know. That's a tough one. Also, the people in the YouTube comment section saying that Panera Bread's not good, you need to go back and get the right stuff. I love Panera. That place is awesome.
I think I'm thinking of a different place. You are a Southsider, right?
Yeah.
What's the place that's in front of Meyer on Southport? It's like they've got like cookies and muffins, but it's also like I think it's a soup place. I don't think it's Panera.
It's a soup place that has cookies
like
and
next
muffins.
to the
That
Meyer
sounds
gas
like
station.
Panera.
You know what I'm talking about. It was in that same.
You said it's on Southport Road?
Yeah, it was in that same strip mall as like GameStop used to be there. It's like right on the corner. It's always busy.
That
could be Panera, but
let's look here.
If it is, I like their stuff in there.
Okay.
Is it McAllister?
That's possible. That would make sense. McAllister's is okay. It's fine. I'm not like dying for that ever.
Right. There you go. I think mine on the X list would probably be Arby's. Like
Buzzard has the right answer. Long John Silver's is always a hard no.
I would agree with that one too.
That's perfect. Yep.
That's a good one too.
That's good. Even though I will say, I used to be firmly anti fast food fish. Then I had the fish fillet from McDonald's.
Really?
So good. It's like 300 calories. So good.
I usually say hard no on McDonald's unless it's like breakfast food.
I was reading about them the other day. They have like completely revamped like a lot of their food and stuff. So like their hamburgers are 100% beef now, and dude, a quarter pounder from McDonald's is pretty good.
Okay.
Won't lie. We talked a lot about food today.
We did.
Which is fitting, because let's just be honest, man. I can only talk about Anthony Richardson, the probably third-string quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, showing up to voluntary workouts in so many different ways.
What are we talking about tomorrow?
Great question. We're going to do Over the Hump Day. Probably talk a little bit more NBA playoffs. Did I write that down? I had an idea for a segment last night, and I don't think I wrote it down. Gosh dang it. It'll come back to me, but it'll be good, as it always is. At a minimum, it'll be fun. We are playing another game for Holiday World tickets. There's no holiday tomorrow or anything like that, so no crazy trivia. In honor of Over the Hump Day, we will do Mike Woodson trivia, so that'll be cool. So make sure you're tuned in and ready to go for that. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We will talk to you tomorrow starting at noon. See ya.